You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
No, I can't say I have. I'm not one for television. Poisons the mind. Nobody tells the truth. And quite frankly, the truth, well, that's all I'm interested in.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
What's happening, buddy?
Welcome to Moviesucktastic.
So greasy.
Yeah. For those who listen to our show in sequential order, you were probably expecting to see the trailer for The Last Dragon.
Yep.
That didn't happen.
Nope.
In between this episode and last episode.
And this is how naive I am. Scott says to me, he goes, Joey, I got jury duty. I want to review you know what that means, right? And I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen 12 Angry Men in a long time. Doesn't kind of fit the show, but I wouldn't mind reviewing that. He's like, no, Joey, no.
I'm like, guess again, Joey. Like, well, the accused, guilty as charged,
the firm,
and justice for all,
and justice for all.
I mean, go down the list. No, the reason this is not The Last Dragon is because, can you still hear me?
I can.
Cool. Is that I was juror number 6 on the trial that I just sat on as a juror, which ended yesterday, and juror number 6 was also the jury number of Pauly Shore in Jury Duty. And I felt that there was a connection there.
Yeah, it would have been a wasted opportunity, I think.
Well, Jury Duty, the movie, is a wasted opportunity, so it's fitting for this.
Is it?
Yes.
I mentioned this to you earlier, and we'll wait till later, but I do have a movie challenge for you based off of this, even though that isn't the order that we do it in. The order would have been Scott has to watch The Last Dragon, then Scott challenges me to something, then I challenge him off of that. But I'm throwing this challenge in here. I don't know when we'll get to it, but it is going to be challenged to Scott for making me watch this. And it definitely fits our theme.
Yeah, and since I'm the one that technically challenged us to jury duty, then it makes sense that you were giving the challenge back.
That is correct. So I don't know if we'll do The Last Dragon, then we'll do my challenge, and then I don't know how we'll do it, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So this film came out in 1995. Came out in 95, and this was one of those kind of hidden summer films. This did come out in the summer, right?
I don't remember.
Oh, it came out in April of 95. Okay. So it was like a spring release, but it was one of those films that Pauly Shore was kind of popular at the time, with Encino Man.
Okay.
And it just, he got this film because of Encino Man.
I disagree.
What did he do before this?
Well, I mean, I don't think this was, I think,
Biodome came next. The following year.
But what I want to say is the reason this film was made in the first place was because of the OJ trial.
Because there's so many shitty jokes throughout the film, based on it.
Yeah, and this film was rushed out so that it was released even before the OJ trial was finished. The OJ verdict was on October 3rd, 1995. This film was released in April of 95.
Oh, God, he did so many movies before this. He did Encino Man, Son-in-Law, In the Army Now. I swear to God, I would have said In the Army Now was the end of his film career. But it wasn't.
It was.
Well, no, I mean, he did Biodome, which, for whatever reason, is still considered a popular film of his.
I don't know why.
I don't know either. It's so fucking bad. Oh, sweet Jesus, man. Anyway, but he did a ton of films before he did this. And as much as I don't like him, Son-in-Law might be the only film I put up with if I was forced to watch it.
I projected Son-in-Law at the Royal
Franklin? Ramsey.
Franklin Theater. No, the Franklin Theater.
Okay.
I projected that there, and because of that, the parts I did see when I was projecting it, I actually watched the movie, and I liked Son-in-Law. Son-in-Law had the problem is that Pauly Shore, he has that charm, but you need to actually craft the character in a film so that it's more likable than just the weird guy. And I think Son-in-Law was the peak of that, where they were able to write a character that was human, that was real. Now, I think it's discussing the oeuvre of Pauly Shore. Sorry.
That's okay.
Is look it up. Is not fair to do. Not that, I'm not trying to say we should be fair to Pauly Shore, but this film was obviously rushed out as quickly as possible to capitalize on the popularity of the OJ trial. Especially when you consider that the OJ trial started, and I'm not doing the research right while I'm talking, obviously. I looked this up months and months ago.
When was the verdict given?
October. The trial started
in 94 or October of 95? Oh, it was.
October
okay.
95. Yes. The trial started. He was arraigned in June, so the trial was on its underway in June and July. So they cranked this out. It was like the OJ trial had to reach that television status of, okay, the whole world's watching the trial, and then they had to say, oh, we need to rush a movie out and get it done as quick as possible, and they threw this out. So this movie was conceived, written, shot, edited, packaged, and shipped to theaters in like 3 months. Oof. Easily.
So... I mean, they don't hold no punches with the OJ jokes. I mean, what would you say? They have an OJ joke probably 4 or 5 times in the film, easily.
Oh yeah,
easily. I mean, when Pauly Shore arrives, the first thing out of his mouth is, "Oh, it's the juice! Run, OJ, run!" Wow.
The 3 real links to the OJ trial itself. Four links. One is his OJ run thing, which is in the now. By the way, let me say, you know those films where you watch where all the funny parts are in the trailer.
Yeah.
This isn't it, because the funny parts aren't in the movie either. So no. I did laugh at a couple of parts, and I will explain myself.
I'll tell you right off the bat, the first time I laughed in the film, when he tries to pull off that maneuver on the pole and he slides straight down, and he just slams into the platform because he's covered in milk.
But you didn't laugh because it was funny. You laughed because you were convinced he hurt himself.
Yes.
Yes.
You know me so well. The other part that I genuinely chuckled at is when the mother, who's played by Shelley Winters, tells him that he's staying with I forget their name, but the other family that lives in the trailer park. Mm-hmm. And there's a dwarf and this bald woman, and all he's doing is braiding a long strand of hair in her head. And they go, "We ain't gonna hurt you." And then they just go and they growl at him. I really thought that was kind of funny.
I didn't, because it just made me realize that that 30-second scene there was pretty much 80% of Adam Sandler's movies.
Well, yeah.
Which
And the bald woman reminded
like,
me of somebody. I've seen her in something else, and I just was too lazy to try and figure that out.
Yeah, I mean I honestly that whole scene was just that's now. But anyway, the four main links between Jury Duty the movie and OJ Trial is the OJ crack,
Right.
the Judge Ito crack, which is in the trailer as well. So they've got two of your four items there. Then there's the fact that they actually show OJ and Judge Ito in the montage for the court TV or Justice TV bumpers.
Oh, right.
When they have television coverage. And the fourth one, which you may not pick up on immediately, is that the prosecution, the female prosecution in the film during the trial, they obviously patterned after Marcia Clark.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously. And only people in our age bracket or older would even just know that. I'm losing you again. You're going to drop off. All right. While Scott disconnects and reconnects, the film came out in 1995. Yep, there we go. It has, you know what? I would almost even say it has an all-star cast. I mean, you got Pauly Shore, Tia Carrere, Stanley Tucci. Oh, that was quick. Hey there.
This is unacceptable.
This
Unacceptable.
this is every week now.
Well, don't say that. I'll have to call somebody.
I was actually saying that the film pretty much has an all-star cast if you really break it down. Maybe like Pauly Shore, hugely popular at the time. Tia Carrere, also popular.
That sentence kind of sums up the decline of the 90s.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore, very popular at the time.
Stanley Tucci, Oscar-nominated actor, more popular now than ever.
And obviously, he needed to make some rent money.
Well, yeah, at the time he was not a big star.
Well,
then you got Abe Vigoda.
Wasn't mainstream, but he's always been a very prominent actor.
Charles Napier, just they're all Shelley Winters, with a cameo essentially. Same thing with Charles Napier, but it's who was a Russ Meyer guy back in the day. But it's just a lot of recognizable faces they threw together. Andrew Dice Clay as a cameo. A lot of recognizable faces. Yeah, I know. Only 3 years removed from Ford Fairlane.
But not so.
Can he say "Oh fuck my Christ" on the radio? No, he can't.
Not removed enough from Ford Fairlane. Yeah. The first 10 minutes, you got Pauly Shore stripping, pouring milk over himself, and pole dancing, and then from that we go to Andrew Dice Clay. I don't know. I mean, now let's be fair. The film hits rock bottom there.
Oh yeah.
It's like there's nowhere but up. So I'll admit now, and you're in trouble too when they have like that line that's in the trailer. Again, all the unfunny parts are in the trailer. Is with the they have a verdict. Oh, they're serving tuna salad.
Yeah, they used that joke 2 or 3 times in that 2-minute span.
Oh yeah, it was like a running gag for 5 minutes.
Yeah, so what the fuck?
And Lincoln's outside the reporters. Have you tried the tuna salad? Somebody.
They tried to make it subtle, but the trained ear and eye of the moviegoer, such as us, it's like they tried that shit 3 times.
I got. So here's I want to play 2 scenarios for you.
Okay.
When that bit was written in the screenplay, there's 2 scenarios. One is 2 screenwriters. How many screenwriters were on this film? Oh dear Lord.
3. There were 3. It was the first thing I noticed.
Let's say 2 of them are together, and the one saying, "Listen, I got this idea."
One's a cleanup guy. Oh.
Always. It's always a cleanup guy. So I can see the one scenario is the 2 of them, and the one's telling the other, "Listen, no, trust me." So like they run out and it said they pick the verdict and they're excited and they run. Another guy runs out excited and says the tuna salad. No, wait, hold on, there's more. So then later, like minutes later, they're interviewing people and you hear in the background, "Did you try the tuna salad?" Or the other scenario where the two writers are there and one says, "I saw Airplane last night."
You know what? Good fucking point. No, not good. Great fucking point. Because I was going to say that it's almost like they were going to try and steer the film in an airplane type scenario, but they wanted to keep some of the gags. Just a couple. And that was one of them.
It's just one of those, you can tell the movie, there's no real feel to the movie. No. You don't get an airplane feel. You don't get I mean, again, if you want to look back at Pauly Shore films that didn't suck balls, like Son-in-Law knew what it wanted to be. There's, it's like Footloose, but with Pauly Shore, kinda, maybe. Oh, yeah. That's the closest I can get. But the film doesn't know if it wants to be slapstick, if it wants to be like a romantic comedy. It's just trying to figure out how many laughs it can get out of a material that's not funny. And that whole example there of like, okay, let's lift this from Airplane, but then when we get to the court thing, we're not going to do other wacky stuff like this because it'll be like a parody film, and it's not. I mean, that's all. This is going to be a short episode, by the way, because there's just so much you could say about jury duty.
Oh, I know. The scene that's on now, and I don't think that this can be done this way, at least not now, and at least in the state of New Jersey. His plan is because his parents are going to Las Vegas, and they're taking the trailer with them, so he's got nowhere to live. So his plan is to go to jury duty and basically get kicked out of all these cases until he gets the right one that's going to last a long enough time so that he's not homeless or has to live with the other people in trailer park.
I refuse.
Yeah.
I refuse, Joey. I strictly refuse to start arguing reality, factual,
because it happens more than once. I mean,
jury duty. No,
yes. I mean, because of that, it's like once you get kicked off, it's like once they find that you're not suitable to be a juror, you go home. They don't just move you around till they figure the right cases for you. You're
starting down a path that ends in madness.
I know. And the fact that they had a woman that was 8 months pregnant, they would never put her on a trial that big.
Okay. Now I watched this film with Holly, who has seen it before. I had not seen it before, and she said the same thing, and I had the same conversation. I refuse to argue factual veracity about jury duty with Pauly Shore. No. I'm not getting into semantics.
They picked a jury. Yeah. Two to salad.
So apart from that, though, the film's pretty close to reality, right? No. Stop. Yeah. Stop. I don't know why they just didn't do a parody OJ trial.
I'm sure if we dug deep enough, it's out there somewhere. Doesn't star Pauly Shore, but I'm sure it's out there.
That would have been genius because, again, this film came out in April 1995.
Yep.
I'm just confirming that to make sure. Release date, April 95. The verdict in the OJ trial wasn't until October 95, which means this film came out while the jury trial was still going. How fucking genius would it have been if they made a parody, changed the names slightly, but you knew what it's about, and they tried to predict how the trial came out.
Right, and if they were extra smart, even if they had nothing to do with it, you throw a Zuckerberg name on there, and you're good.
How fucking they could do that with every time there's a trial where you know it's gonna be like 6 months. There's got to be a company out there. All right, let's do the Menendez one.
Right.
Fucking,
their picture was in that the thing,
and try to beat the end of the trial, and God forbid you guess the verdict right.
Right.
Then I don't know. That is a genius idea. This is everything that's not genius. Now, I will tell you, the part I did laugh at is when they have the little montage of Pauly Shore getting kicked off of the short trials.
Yeah.
And it just had I actually tried not to laugh because I was like, okay, I'm not going to laugh at this movie. And this is the one part where I was like, okay, I got to chuckle a little bit. is where they just cut to him and there's like a rocket launcher on the table. And it says, I don't know, maybe I'm out of line, but I think it's every person's right to defend their home. Just but you know why? Because it was quick. It was played straight, and then it moved on. That was like the one part of the film that actually had comic timing, comic sensibility, and knew how to pull the joke off. That 10 seconds right there is what comedy's about, and the film kind of teased you with that. So, oh look, see, we know what we're doing. Now we're going to stop doing that.
And how much you want to bet the assistant director directed that shit? It's the only shining light in the film. I bet somebody else directed it, or someone else pushed that along or edited it properly.
Now the only, again, as I said before, the only reason we're reviewing Jury Duty by Pauly Shore is that I was juror number 6, he was juror number 6. I think you even hear it in the trailer, juror number 6. So
yeah, yep, they refer to him as number 6 sometimes, not even juror number 6.
Yeah. Now, even when we did Leonard Part 6, another 6 film, even then there was enough bizarre stuff and there was enough to talk about for a long. I think we talked for a good hour on Leonard Part 6. I think there was a lot of stuff to discuss. This is one of those movies where if Pauly Shore wasn't in it, no one would even remember this film.
This is also true.
There's really, and again, like, Abe Vigoda was in there. Tia Carrere. We can throw a bunch of names out there. Everything about the film, even down to like, let's give him a cute dog, or an ugly cute dog. Yeah, and endear them with the animal. There's really, you can tell this was just somebody got right here. Yeah, here's the bare minimum we can pay you by union standards. Write a screenplay. We need to start filming next week. Here's the poster for Pauly Shore. Oh, okay, I'll write that.
Now I know we weren't going to talk reality with this film, but do they also bunk jurors together like they did in this film? I don't think they do that either. I
don't know.
There's too much craziness that could go on.
They let me go home, so I don't know.
Jesus, I'm trying not to watch the film while we talk about it.
Don't do that.
I mean, it's on this screen. I'm looking in that direction because I was made to put my webcam there.
Yeah, and what's even worse is that as the film changes from frantic slapstick to all of a sudden, now we're going to try to make some sense with the plot, and then no, it's just stupid, and
yeah, it's a bad movie.
I take it back. I take it back. I think Andrew Dice Clay was the best part.
Best part of the whole film.
Now, I think we should.
I'll go one step further. I'll say Abe Vigoda.
No, Andrew Dice Clay.
Abe Vigoda's my man. That dude's still alive.
Thanks to Joey, I think we can succeed our responsibilities as reviewers and give the floor to somebody who's better at trashing a film like this in 2 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and play that?
Sure. Let me cue that up.
I haven't heard this, so I'm looking forward to it. I
haven't heard it either. I just grabbed it. Here, this
How long is it?
It's 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's all. We should have been done by now. We're amateurs, amateurs.
Yeah. All right, let me. I'm sorry. I should have had this queued up.
You should have. I thought you had it queued up.
Listen. I took it out of the. You know what I should have done? I should have left it in the queue. And
should have had it queued up.
No. Well, yes, but I had it in a different order.
We covered that one. You said you didn't have it queued up.
Yes. Okay.
What should I have done? The opposite of this.
Here we go.
Our next movie is Jury Duty, starring Pauly Shore, an actor who, for me, is the cinematic equivalent of long fingernails drawn very slowly and quite loudly over a gigantic blackboard. To watch him for a short time is unpleasant. To watch him for a long time is insupportable. In Jury Duty, he plays an unemployed layabout who obviously got all of his brains and most of hers from his mother.
I'll find something, Ma. You just don't worry.
Oh, look no further, Mr. District Attorney. What's this? A jury duty notice?
My son, the lawyer.
Eventually, she and Tommy's father throw him out, and suddenly he's delighted to be called to jury duty because it means he'll be sequestered, which for him means fed and sheltered.
Welcome to the El Presidente Suite, your new home away from home.
Wow. Every day isn't a holiday. Every day's an orgasm.
Tommy doesn't make an ideal juror, as a fellow member of the panel, Tia Carrere, soon discovers.
So what do you think?
About what? You're sleeping or you're drooling?
And here's an example of the movie's general humor level with Abe Vigoda as the judge.
What in God's name are you doing here?
Your Honor, I don't think it's fair that you guys get to have your own little powwow over here where we can't listen. We have to hear too for information.
You're a juror. Get back in that box.
Now, Gene, on a recent show, you accused me of being too soft on the actors in the movies that I don't like.
I think it's more than that. I think you're too soft on naming just names in general, whether actors or directors or producers.
Well, I'm sorry if I was too soft on David Caruso, but in particular, you said I was too easy on Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. Well, let me tell you something. I'd rather attend an entire Chris Farley Dusk to Dawn film festival than sit through any 5 minutes of jury duty. I felt like I'd been sequestered. This movie stinks.
Well, let's get back in agreement here.
Okay.
It does stink, and he is annoying. And it's not annoying like Jim Carrey, where there's a comic strategy to it. He's just aggravating. It's a disaster.
And there you go. And you know what? I don't agree with his Tommy Boy assumption.
Oh, of
I
course.
think at the time, films like Tommy Boy were kind of panned a little bit. But if you look at it now, it's still a very funny film.
Well, you're always going to get, again, for film critics, you're always going to get a pushback to anything that's just supposed to be entertaining. They want more substance to it, and you can't hold that litmus test for. I was going to say hold that litmus test up, but you don't hold up a litmus test. You hold something up to the light. So that was a bad analogy. But you can't hold everything to that standard. Sometimes a movie's just a movie. So, again, one of my favorite films ever, Ernest Goes to Jail. Yep. Fucking hilarious. Am I upset that it didn't get any Oscar nominations or, acclaim? No, because obviously it's not a good movie, but it does what it means to do. Tommy Boy, whether or not Mr. Beyond the Valley of the Dolls thought it was a quality film, it was funny, and Chris Farley did have comic timing, and for a brief while there, so did his name? David Spade. Now, it's funny that they mention Jim Carrey, because I just recently rewatched The Cable Guy, okay. And I was thinking about the idea that what separates somebody like Pauly Shore and somebody like Jim Carrey is that Pauly Shore, like I said before, he's got a charm to him. He's got a bit of a shtick as far as he's got this like a Bobcat Goldthwait thing going. Hey, but the reason he could not sustain, but someone like Jim Carrey can, is that Jim Carrey reinvents himself every couple of films and has a range, whereas Pauly Shore doesn't really have that range. And I think that's what separates the comedians from the comic actors.
You know what's interesting about what you're saying there is, and mentioning Ernest, Jim Varney had that kind of range.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was a Shakespearean actor.
Right. He had that kind of range. And just for the record, my challenge is not Ernest Goes to Jail.
And is it no, I won't even try to guess. Never mind.
You can try and guess.
No, I don't want to, because I don't want to ruin it.
Okay. So are we done reviewing Jury Duty? I mean, we're kind of like at a standstill with it. We're already talking about something else completely.
I'm trying to... I didn't take any notes. There wasn't anything to take notes about.
No, you're lucky I watched this thing.
I think Siskel and Ebert really summed it up. It's just there. There's nothing. He dresses up in drag at one point to sneak into the prison and talk to the guy in trial. You know what? Actually, the biggest injustice is if you glance at, and this is why IMDb just doesn't give a shit, and why anybody can just put anything up there. It's Wikipedia has better editing than IMDb. Is if you look at IMDb's trivia, somebody put in there is loosely based on 12 Angry Men.
What?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's really not.
And you know who wrote that? Someone born after 1994.
Yeah, right?
Jesus, fuck.
Someone who's never seen 12 Angry Men.
Motherfucker. Jury... How does a movie like this cost $21 million? Do you see that?
21?
$21 million it cost.
Well, how much did they pay Pauly?
Probably way too much at the time.
I guarantee Tia Carrere.
Yeah, she probably was demanding a few bucks.
Oh, sure, she's the draw.
Yeah.
There's only two things drawing you to this movie: if you like Pauly Shore, or if you want to watch Tia Carrere while whoever you're with likes Pauly Shore.
And it made $17 million, surprisingly. I doubt it had any kind of foreign sales, so it probably got saved on cable and VHS on the video market.
There's really there's really not much to say. Again, the only reason we reviewed it is because I am juror number 6, or was, and we should have reviewed like the Prisoner TV show. I think it would have been just as relevant.
Could have opened up with Iron Maiden. But no.
What I find funny is that the tagline is "For truth, for justice, for $5 a day." I find it funny that 20 years later, that's still the going price.
Yeah.
$5 a day.
I mean, you'd think it would be like $15 to at least minimum wage. At least minimum wage.
Yeah, that has not changed with inflation.
Nope.
It's bizarre. Now, we tend to rate these on IMDb just to play games there. Mm-hmm. And right now it's at 4 stars. 3.9. Sorry, 3.9 on IMDb. I would argue 3.
I would not argue 3. I would agree with 3.
Do you want to go the 2 or?
All right, let's see. We got to come up with a good reason why 2 is the more appropriate score than 3. Only because I don't think we've ever rated a film a 2 before.
I don't think it deserves a 2. I think for a 2, the production value would have to be lower as well. I think all we're dealing with is bad writing.
Yeah, I think 3 is good. I think that's a good score.
And the fact that the film had a dream sequence during the trial.
Oh God, Tia Carrere and
everybody. Yeah,
everybody was in it. That's where they spent their money. They spent a lot of money on that dream sequence.
That was all the money went right there. That and whatever set or hotel they used.
Right.
So you want to say 3 stars?
3 is good.
Okay, this is going to be a tight episode. Now let's check out the voting and the
only 309 users. Which I'm sorry, that's wrong. I'm looking at my challenge to you.
That's incorrect.
My challenge to you is 309 users. Appropriate.
Oh, okay. Jury duty, the highest rating at 16.2% is 1 star.
Of course.
The highest demographic is at 4.8, females age 18 to 29. So they're the ones that like the stripping scene in the beginning.
Yeah.
And the lowest demographic is 3.4 for males age 45 and older. Who pretty much wouldn't watch this film in the first place, so they were probably forced by somebody.
Yeah, definitely. Or it was on, and they were so insulted, they had to rush to their computer and rate it.
And there's only one IMDb staff person that's rated the film, and they rated it 5 stars, so I'm hoping that person has been fired at some point and is no longer a staff member of IMDb.
Sure.
Yeah, just don't watch it.
No, don't bother.
There's nothing insightful. There's nothing funny. There's nothing. Oh, did you notice this? It's just why am I still watching this?
There's nothing here. Move on.
You know the best thing about the film was?
The credits.
a runtime.
Yeah, only 87 minutes?
88 minutes.
Ah, well, you know what? The runtime of my challenge to you is only 83.
Oh, hang on 1 second. We need to check. And
you can watch it on Amazon Prime. So it's not only available elsewhere, but you can actually stream it too.
Yep, it's not available for. You have to rent it on Amazon Prime. It's not a free streaming one.
No, my challenge to you.
Oh, that is okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jury Duty. If you want to watch it like online, you're going to pay minimum $8 to watch this fucking movie online.
Fuck that.
Minimum.
And it's not available. I think the DVD's out of print.
Anywhere. It's not. This is a film that. This is a film that's dying a natural death, and we're just kind of like postponing it.
You know what I bet? I bet we don't get flagged on YouTube for this. It's so shitty and just forgettable. But
well, it depends if you post it or not.
If I post it, we'll get flagged immediately.
I'm looking for the parents. There's no parents' guide to it. That's how hard this film is to find. There's no parents' guide on IMDb warning you about the foul language and the sexual aspects of the film.
Innuendos.
No parent out there said, in case someone wants to watch Jury Duty with Pauly Shore, I should get on there. No, I'm just, what am I talking about? Nobody's going to watch this.
Wiener boy. He stabbed a hot dog and said, I wish it was you. Did he know?
That's it. And even like they're like that craft, like Jim Carrey versus Pauly Shore, like the peanut call for his dog is just him,
which is just a variation of him going, woo, 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 buddy.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to think that one up? I mean, or were you like, man, the late nights with Pauly Shore crafting that character?
Yeah, cut his hair and everything.
I just hope somebody hears this, and the next time there's a big trial, they just make the parody and release it. How genius would that be? I don't know how they didn't get OJ to make a guest appearance.
Yeah, they could have worked something out.
They could have worked something out.
I wouldn't be surprised if they tried.
Yeah, right. I mentioned they could have gotten Kato if they tried. Oh, I think he mentions Kato in the film too. At the end credits. He mentions a couple of...
Oh, yeah, because he's singing some shitty song.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, he does mention a few in there.
We're more than done with this. Okay. We've already spent way too much time talking about it. Anyway, but yes, you're right. We should wrap this up. And we're watching... I've already forgotten the challenge.
I don't know. I don't know if it's you want to do The Last Dragon, or if you want to do Death Row Game Show. And then, I don't know. But next week, I'm on vacation. I will not be around. Yeah, again. So we'll pick up the show the week after that, unless we want to do a quick one. We'll let you know. But anyway, we'll figure out what we're going to watch, and we'll post it on the Facebook page. So with that, please go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Watch all of our live streams there every week. You can also download the show, and you can also listen to the show right from the site. You can go to iTunes and you can download the show or listen to it right there as well. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can also email us, themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. You can go to our Tumblr at Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. And absolutely, please download the app. You can go to the Google Play Store, do a search for Moviesucktastic, download that, and you can get everything I just talked about right on your smartphone or Android tablet device. That should do it. You agree. Or you can do a search in your favorite search engine for Moviesucktastic. And
Google.
Or Google, whatever you like. And we come up just about everywhere.
Do not use Bing. We will not come up if you use Bing.
We will, but we
will not.
We will. But use Google instead.
I will not come up if you use Bing.
That might be true. So Anyway, all right, everybody.
Anyway,
We'll talk to you next week,
buddy.
buddy. It's so greasy.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, same here.
Buddy.